All right. Today, we received confirmation more members of the Trump cabinet, or at least Inner Circle, announced. Elise Stefanik, UN ambassador; Tom Homan, border czar; Stephen Miller, deputy chief of policy; Lee Zeldin, Environmental Protection Agency; Mike Waltz, national security advisor; Susie Wiles is running the show as chief of staff. We are still waiting on Secretary of State, Treasury Secretary, Attorney General, and more. With that, we bring in Bill O'Reilly himself, anchor of the No Spin News, author of Confronting the President's No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. As you researched the presidents, what is your advice to Donald Trump in picking a cabinet?
Well, I always go for the best and the brightest. You know, it's a cliche, but you want people with perception. You want people to speak their mind. You want people with experience in the sense that they've been in the arena before, so they won't panic and they don't have to rely on advisors. Strong cabinet is always a plus for any president of the United States. In fact, you can trace the success of most presidents who have done well to their top 3 or 4 advisors. And the ones who went down the drain, like Jimmy Carter, for example, is a really good example of people who he hired cronies and people with no federal experience, and they had nothing to bring. But I think Donald Trump's been around the block enough now where he knows that.
Is cronies another word for sycophants, if we're going to sort of compare, contrast? Obviously not someone who's not sold nearly as many books as you have. Doris Kearns Goodwin's writing about Lincoln, your favorite president, the team of rivals versus the team of cronies?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to generalize in this area. I think Donald Trump is a man who wants loyalty and punishes disloyalty if he feels you're disloyal.
Is that a
or
good
not,
thing?
Supporting. You know, look, is it a good thing? I like loyal people around me because, you know, I know what disloyal people can do. They can hurt you. They can bring disruption. They can leak stuff that's not true. They can do a lot of damage. So is that a character flaw that I want loyal people? I think that you can find both. I respect people who speak their mind. I think Donald Trump does as well, but not all the time. Does that make sense? You know, there's sometimes when he wants to be told that he's the greatest. And I think that's a human trait. Sometimes you're kind of feeling down. You want to be brought up.
Fair enough. You think about President Trump, President-elect Trump, now entering into this fray of the Senate Majority Leader. That happens on Wednesday. It was either John Thune or John Cornyn. Now, all of a sudden, Rick Scott, senator from Florida, has risen up because of Donald Trump's closest advisors. The MAGA conclave has decided that they don't like John Cornyn or John Thune. And Rick Scott is their man. This is the betting odds on who will get it, Thune and Scott. The long knives are out for Thune. Here is Rick Scott on his loyalty promises to Donald Trump. Take a listen.
Here's what I bring to the table. I clearly believe in the Trump agenda, number one. I'm a business guy that had success doing exactly what we need to do in the Senate. So I'm very optimistic that I'm going to win because I'm representing Trump's agenda and what my colleagues want.
Is there a danger to Donald Trump in picking people who are not necessarily the best for the job, but who they promise this kind of unquestioned loyalty?
Yeah, I guess you could bring hacks in, I guess. But look, it doesn't matter whether it's Scott or Thune or who's the third. I don't even pay attention to these political parties because it gives me a massive headache. It'll probably be Scott because he's got a personal relationship with Trump and he's simpatico with him. Trump likes business people and all that. But it doesn't matter because whoever the Senate Majority Leader is going to go along with President Trump. It's just like Johnson in the House. Johnson's not going to buck Trump. Trump's got 2 years Talk about a dictator on first day. He's got 2 years. If he stays focused on what he believes the country has to have to be prosperous, he'll pass almost everything. There's not one congressperson now that'll be in dissent on the Republican side. Not one. And I don't think there are any Democratic congresspeople who will vote for anything that Trump says. But you don't need them. And the same thing in the Senate. All of those 53 or 4 Republican senators, they're going along with it. This is a unique time for Donald Trump in history. Really unique. And, you know, the guy who was the only other non-consecutive president, Grover Cleveland, he walked in, Congress hated him. And he vetoed 144 bills in his second term. And they were, most of them, overridden. Trump's got a free field, a free fire zone to do exactly what he wants to do. Now, let's see if that is going to improve the nation. But that's where we are.
So free fire zone to do whatever he wants to do. You say that there's not going to be a single Republican defection. NewsNation was the first to call the presidency, also the first to call that Republicans will keep control of the House, 7:30 or so, 7:25 today. Decision Desk HQ projecting that Republicans will keep the House of Representatives by the thinnest of margins. You're saying there's not going to be one defection. So the question is, are Republicans under Donald Trump's leadership able to accept good rather than fight amongst themselves over perfect? And you still have to get votes in the Senate for anything you want to do.
Yeah, but it's only Murkowski and Collins in the Senate that might give Trump a little
You got to get to 60 votes.
And
you got to get to 60 votes.
Well, not really. I mean, if there's somebody going to filibuster on the Democratic side, you got to get to 60 to override it. But there are ways around that now. There are plenty of ways around it. I'm not worried about that. I want Donald Trump to put forth 5 or 6 really solid bills that are almost unopposable. Border, okay, immigration, taxation, extend the Trump tax cuts, basic decency in the Justice Department, okay, sanctuary cities, these kinds of things. Wipe out. You did a woke thing, and one of the reasons that Trump won was because most Americans, by a large majority, hate this woke stuff. In my website, BillO'Reilly.com, I'm selling not woke stuff. It is the fastest moving stuff we have ever had in 27 years of BillO'Reilly.com. People want the shirts and they want the mug, not woke. They've had it with it. It's insane. Now, Trump can't pass not woke legislation because it's a personal preference. But what he can do is pass laws that make it very difficult for the progressives to intrude on personal freedom and to create chaos. And these bills have to be very well worded so that they get around the federal challenges in court, and they have to be presented in a very cogent way to the American public. If Trump does that, he's going to go down in history as one of the greatest presidents because he can stop the madness culturally here. And it is madness. Now, have people say, yeah, let Barry, who's now Barbie, go into the high school girls' locker room. That's madness, all right? So stop it somehow. Find out how and do it, because you're not going to have, and if the Democrats oppose that, they'll destroy themselves even further. The party's already on the ropes. It has no leader. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party? Who?
Yeah,
no one.
No, look, you're right. There's few people who have been better at getting their political opponents to do stupid things than Donald Trump. He is a master at it. It's one of his skills.
Bill, wait. Oh, I see. You say there's few people who can goad the opposition into doing stupid things.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
He's a master.
I agree
at it.
with that.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Bill. We'll talk soon.
All right, I'm sending you some not woke stuff, and I want you to wear it on your program.
No, but I appreciate it. I'll make for some good stocking stuffers for my in-laws. Theyll love it.
Yeah,
All right, Bill,
Sunday.
thank you.
Oh, you're going to give it away, I see. All right.
Regifting, spreading the wealth. All right. Warnotes.com tomorrow, the new attack against Latinos by the progressive left. Some really wild stuff happening and being said about the very people that the progressive left said that they were protecting, immigrants. That's in War Notes tomorrow, 4 p.m. Subscribe for free at warnotes.com. Also see you on social media at Leland Vittert. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.